Stop grading by others. Grade by purpose. Write that down. Say it out loud with me. Stop grading by others. Grade by purpose. What did I say? Now, look at me. Tonight we're going to begin a shift so radical that it will make comparison feel like a foreign language to you. I'm inviting you into a 100-point interactive purpose audit that turns confusion into a clear score and a clear plan. When we are done, you will know exactly where you are, where the leak is, and which valve to tighten. And you will not guess, you will measure. Please write this down. What you do not measure, you cannot manage, and what you cannot manage, you cannot master. Success is predictable. Failure is predictable because laws make life predictable. I'm going to say that again because your mind needs to catch it. Success is predictable. Failure is predictable because laws make life predictable. What did I say? Say it out loud. Success is not a pursuit. Success is a result of obedience to laws. You don't break laws, laws break you. Gravity does not negotiate. Seed time and harvest do not vote. The law of seasons will not consult your calendar. Joshua 1-8 says, "This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do. Then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success." Reverse the verse, and it's still true. If you do not observe to do, you cannot make your way prosperous, and you will not have good success. Predictable. Write that down and tweet it to somebody right now. Hashtag predictable. Pens out, notes on. Do not sit there like a tourist. This is a workshop for rulers. I want you to engage your mind and your mouth. When I give you a line, repeat it. When I give you a law, write it. When I ask for a decision, make it. And hear me, at the end of this session, you will calculate your score. Yes, you will. And you will post it publicly. Some of you just got nervous. That's good. Accountability is pressure with purpose. In other words, we are going to use community momentum to normalize obedience to laws. Iron sharpens iron. Dull minds avoid the grind. If you want to hide, you cannot heal. If you reveal, you can be restored. Ecclesiastes says, "Two are better than one. Woe to him who is alone when he falls, because there's no one to pick him up." Well, community will pick you up, but first you must stand up and be counted. Now, why this audit? Because most of us have been taking the wrong exam. The world gives you a report card in followers, cars, titles, and applause. None of those are wrong, but they are not the measure. God never asks you to be the best version of someone else. Jeremiah 29-11, "Listen to the voice of your manufacturer. I know the plans I have for you," not them, you. Plans to prosper you, give you a future, give you hope. Success, therefore, is measured by what you've done compared to what you were supposed to do. Write that down. If you score 98 compared to your neighbor and 40 compared to your assignment, you failed honorably. Oh dear, I guess I'm talking to myself. What did I say? Success is fulfillment of original purpose, not imitation, not competition, purpose. A young man, let's call him Devin, sat in the back of a session like this, arms folded, eyes wandering, pockets buzzing with likes. He told me, "Doc, they say I'm killing it." I smiled and asked, "Who graded you?" He named blogs, brands, and his auntie. I said, "Fine, but what did your assignment say?" He blinked. That's when the Holy Spirit whispered to him, "You are a 62 on people's scale and a 22 on mine." That night, we began to measure law by law, habit by habit, and he watched his fog become a map. He didn't pray for success. He obeyed the laws that guarantee it. And yes, we prayed, but as alignment, not as a substitute for action. Please hear me. Prayer is not a replacement for law. Prayer is the ignition for obedience to law. Matthew 5:19 says, "Whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great." Practice and teach law first, then greatness. Successful people break the rules to keep the law. They refuse human traditions that block divine principles. This audit is simple. It's honest. It will not flatter you, but it will free you. We will translate purpose into Numbers 10 domains, 10 points each. You know them already in your spirit. Purpose, perception, potential, passion, principles, planning, people and persistence, perseverance and prayer. 10 P's, 10 laws, 10 levers you can pull. But tonight, I want you to accept the first law of this process. Stop grading by others. Grade by purpose. Your assignment will be the only teacher signing your report card. In other words, the audit is not about your neighbor's pace, it's about your path. Fish don't compete with birds, they obey water. Birds don't envy fish, they obey sky. You were designed for a specific environment and a specific effect. If you keep jumping out of your water to impress swimmers, the law of habitat will punish you. You don't break it, it breaks you. Say this with me. Laws make my life predictable. Again, laws make my life predictable. That's why this 100-point purpose audit is the doorway to peace. Anxiety thrives in ambiguity. Confidence grows in clarity. When you can see your score, you can see your steps. When you can see your steps, you can schedule your obedience. And when you schedule obedience, results arrive on time. The longest way to success is the shortcut. The fastest way is the law. So get ready. Keep that pen moving. Start a new page and title it My Purpose Audit. Underline it twice. Put today's date. Before we touch a single number, make a vow with me. Say, I refuse to be graded by others. I will be graded by my purpose. Say it again until your soul hears it. And prepare your heart to be honest. God cannot heal a mask. Tonight we are going to locate you without shame, without pretense, with precision. By the end, you will have a score you can improve, a plan you can calendar, and a community that will hold you to it. Jesus said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Numbers don't lie, they liberate. Welcome to the audit. Let me tell you about 48 out of 100. I walked off a platform once, lights bright, cameras smiling, people on their feet. They said, Doc, that was your best ever. The green room was full. The inbox was full. The itinerary was fuller. And yet when I got alone in that quiet hotel room, I heard a number in my spirit, 48. Not the crowd score, God's. I said, Lord, what is 48? He answered me without drama, your assignment's report card. I didn't ask for applause. I asked for accuracy. He measured me not against who showed up, but against what I was born to deliver in that moment. Outward celebration, inward correction. Please write this down. Success by comparison can still be failure by purpose. Some of you are living off claps and likes, but your assignment is sending you emails you never open. Are you listening? You are a 92 on Instagram and a 48 on Destiny. In other words, you have become excellent at what doesn't count and negligent at what does. What did I say? You can be excellent at what doesn't count. That's why we must redefine success before we count any points. Write this definition down and say it out loud to your own soul. Success is not what you've done compared to others. Success is what you've done compared to what you were born to do. Say it again. Now shout it so your fear can hear you. Success is fulfillment of my original purpose. Jeremiah speaks for your manufacturer. I know the plans I have for you. I plan to prosper you, give you a future and a hope. Plans precede performance. Purpose precedes people. Before your mother met your father, God already met your assignment. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. I set you apart. I appointed you. Appointment before appearance. That means your life is not an experiment. It is an execution of a plan. So hear me. You don't discover purpose by taking a poll. You read the manual from the manufacturer. The manual is the mind of the maker revealed. Tweet that to somebody. The manual is the mind of the maker revealed. Hashtag assignment. I need you to write another line. Capital letters. Underline it twice. Celebrate celebrity, but assignment authority. Say it with me. Again. Celebrate makes you popular for a moment. Assignment gives you authority for a lifetime. Crowds can make you a celebrity. Only completion makes you a leader. People will celebrate what they like. Heaven will endorse what you were sent to finish. Paul didn't say, I kept them cheering. He said, I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4:7. That's assignment language. That's the only diploma that matters. Let me press you lovingly. Some of you are heartbroken because the algorithm didn't bless you this week. The kingdom is not run by algorithms. It is governed by laws. Applause is an echo. It is not a compass. Confetti feels good on your shoulders, but it cannot carry your calling. The ovation will not drive you home. Your assignment will. Write this down. Applause is seasoning, not substance. If you cook your life with seasoning only, you will starve with flavor. Oh dear, I guess I'm talking to myself. What did I say? Say it back to me. So how will you measure your life? Ask me the question, and I'll ask you back. How will I measure my life? By assignment. Say it again like a decree. How will I measure my life? By assignment. One more time, so your tradition gets nervous. By assignment, when you grasp this, the 48 over 100 moment stops being a condemnation and becomes a calibration. God wasn't punishing me. He was protecting me from wasting days on what I was not born to do. The law of purpose is merciful. It confronts you so it can correct you. You don't break the law of purpose. It will break you gently until you align. I remember staring at that number and asking, Lord, where did I lose the 52? He took me through it. You drifted from the target to the trend. You managed the room, but didn't steward the revelation. You hurried the process to fit a program. In other words, I graded myself by people's schedule instead of heaven's script. Please write this down. Rules and routines are negotiable. Assignment is non-negotiable. Successful people break the rules to keep the law. Jesus said, whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great. Matthew 5:19. Practice the commands, not the customs. Keep the law of assignment, even if it breaks a few rules of popularity. Now, this is why the 100 point purpose audit is a rescue, not a burden. It gives you a truthful number so you can stop gambling with your days. If I'm a 48, I don't need pity, I need a plan. And we have one. But plan follows purpose. Plans without purpose are busy work in a suit. Purpose answers the why. Planning arranges the how. Performance delivers the what. Purpose precedes people. Plans precede performance. Write it down, circle it, put a star next to it, tweet it, and tag your future. Purpose before people, plans before performance. Let me illustrate this so you never forget. A manufacturer never markets a product until purpose is settled and the plan is tested. The ad comes last. We reversed it. We market ourselves. Then look for meaning. That's why you are exhausted. You are running public relations for a self you haven't even met yet. Stop. Return to the blueprint. The Bible says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Psalm 127:1. Vain building is when you construct without consulting the architect. The house may look good on Instagram, but the foundation will fail the inspection of purpose. Law built into the ground will not flatter your facade. I want you to put a sentence on the top of your audit page right now. Only my assignment can grade me. Everything else is noise. Whisper it. Now say it out loud. Again, this is the beginning of peace. When you remove illegitimate graders, you remove illegitimate pressure. The right pressure is the law, the accountability of purpose. That pressure makes diamonds. The other pressure makes ulcers. Choose your pressure. Let me close this section with a question and a charge. If heaven sent you to solve a specific problem, what would your current week's calendar say about your obedience? Don't answer with a feeling. Answer with evidence. Because success is predictable. If you keep the laws tied to your assignment, results are inevitable. If you ignore them, consequences are automatic. Tonight, your 48 is not your identity, it is your inventory. Say this with me. I will trade celebration for completion. I will trade comparison for calling. I will trade noise for assignment. How will I measure my life? By assignment. Good. Now let's get ready to turn numbers into clarity and clarity into a plan you can schedule and finish. Now let me put the frame around this picture so you can stop guessing and start governing. Write this down. There is a difference between laws and rules. Say it out loud. Laws are built in, universal, and loaded with consequences. Rules are man-made, cultural, and negotiable. In other words, laws are embedded by the manufacturer. Rules are invented by managers. You can negotiate rules, you cannot negotiate laws. Tweet that to somebody right now. Hashtag law over rules. You don't break laws, laws break you. What did I say? Say it back to me. You don't break gravity, gravity will break you. Gravity will not debate you, neither will purpose. If you jump off a 10-story building speaking in tongues, angels will watch you exercise the law of gravity. The ground will attend your prayer meeting. That is not cruelty. That is predictability. The law is faithful. A fish that leaves water dies. Not because God is angry, but because the law of habitat does not make exceptions. A seed placed on a tile will produce nothing, not because the soil hates it, but because the law of environment and depth is indifferent to your intention. A car without oil will seize its engine, not because the manufacturer is punishing you, but because the law of lubrication refuses to be ignored. Misalignment punishes itself. Please write that down. Misalignment is self-inflicted judgment. Now here scripture confirms what nature is shouting. Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth. You shall meditate in it day and night, that you may observe to do according to all that is written in it. Then you shall make your way prosperous, and then you shall have good success. Practice before prosperity, observe to do, then success. Reverse the verse. If you do not observe to do, you cannot make your way prosperous, and you will not have good success. Predictable. Day and night is not poetry, it is frequency. The law responds to practice, not to memory. Galatians 6-7 adds, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that shall he also reap. Whatever, and that law of words. You cannot sow distraction and reap clarity. You cannot sow laziness and reap mastery. Tweet that and tag your future self. Seed guarantees harvest. Neglect guarantees famine. Let me offend your tradition to heal your life. Prosperity doesn't come by prayer. It comes by keeping laws. What did I say? Say it so your religion hears you. Prosperity doesn't come by prayer. It comes by laws. Now don't leave the building. I believe in prayer. Prayer is not a substitute for law. Prayer is the strength to keep law. Prayer aligns you with the manufacturer's mind so you can obey his mechanisms. Pray over a car with no oil. All you want, the engine will still lock. Speak in tongues over a seed sitting on ceramic. Winter will still come and leave you hungry. Fast for 40 days while feeding bitterness in your heart. The law of relationships will fracture your team. Jesus said, watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. Matthew 26-41. Watch the practice. Pray the power. Prayer sustains your obedience. It does not replace it. Rules, on the other hand, will change with the room. One city says, wear this. The next says, don't. One department says, fill the form in blue. Another says, black. Those are rules. Traditions say, we've always done it this way. Laws ask, does it produce the designed result? Jesus confronted this directly. Why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? Matthew 15-3. In other words, successful people break the rules to keep the law. If a rule blocks your obedience to purpose, change the rule. If a policy suffocates productivity, redesign the policy. But if a law is violated, redesign yourself. Tweet that. Break rules when they violate laws. Break yourself when you violate laws. This is why your life can be predictable. Laws make life predictable. Say it with me. Again, if you obey the law of sowing consistently, you can predict your harvest windows. If you obey the law of focus, you can predict your mastery. If you obey the law of planning, you can predict your calendar and therefore your outcomes. The 10 P's are not motivational slogans. They are 10 interlocking laws. Purpose clarifies direction. Perception cleans your lens. Potential informs your capacity. Passion fuels your drive. Principle sets your boundaries. Planning arranges your method. People multiply your reach. Persistence compounds your execution. Perseverance extends your endurance. Prayer maintains your alignment. You keep these, and your results cannot betray you. Ignore them, and your consequences are automatic. Do not confuse mercy with exemption. Grace forgives your violation. It does not suspend the law. If you run a red light and survive, praise God for mercy, but the ticket is still printed by the system you entered. Kingdom is a government, not a suggestion box. When you accept that, anxiety starts to lose its voice because you realize you are not at the mercy of moods or trends. You are at the mercy of laws, and laws are consistent. That consistency is your advantage. Stop praying for harvest you never scheduled by seed. Stop complaining about fatigue while you violate the law of rest and rhythm. Stop blaming the devil for a seized engine when you ignored maintenance. The devil is not your mechanic. Ignorance is. So here is the shift. Before you ask for a miracle, ask for a manual. Before you beg for favor, check your formulas. The manufacturer gave you both scripture for laws, wisdom for application, community for accountability. Write this down. The audit is not judging you. It is judging your alignment. What did I say? We are not attacking your worth. We are assessing your obedience to laws. When the audit exposes where you left the water, we are going to put you back in your river. When it finds your seed on tile, we will find soil. When it hears your engine grinding, we will change the oil. And when you do that, results will not be mysterious, they will be mathematical. Say this with me like a decree. My life is lawful, therefore my life is predictable. Again, louder. My life is lawful, therefore my life is predictable. Good. Now keep that pen ready, because we are about to translate this predictability into numbers you can see, habits you can schedule, and outcomes you can expect day and night. Observe to do. Then you shall make your way prosperous. Open your audit page. We are about to put numbers to your obedience. Write this down. Laws must become metrics, or they remain mysteries. What did I say? Say it back to me. Laws must become metrics. The 10 P's are not poetry. There are 10 laws you can measure. Purpose, perception, potential, passion, principles, planning, people, persistence, perseverance, prayer. 10 dials on your dashboard. When we're done, you will know which dial is flickering red and which is green. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision, make it plain, that he may run who reads it. Numbers make vision plain. Luke 14:28 asks, who among you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost? Count is a kingdom word. Tweet that to somebody. Counting is spiritual. Hashtag audit. Here's the rubric. Simple, honest, non-negotiable. Each P gets a score from 0 to 10. 0 to 2 means ignorance or avoidance. You don't know, don't do, or won't face it. 3 to 4 means aware but adrift. You know of it. You talk about it, but you have no traction. 5 to 6 means inconsistent. You start and stop. Results are accidental. Habits are fragile. 7 to 8 means consistent practice. You do it regularly. Results are steady. Habits are visible. 9 to 10 means lawful mastery. You can teach it. You reproduce it in others. Your results are predictable under pressure. Write that down exactly as I said it. This is your language for the rest of your year. Now, equal weighting for simplicity. Each P counts the same. 10 times 10 equals 100. Why equal? Because neglect in any law can sink the ship. However, for my advanced builders, put this in the margin. Season waiting is permitted. If your current assignment demands heavy planning and people, for the next 30 days you may apply a multiplier to those two. But listen carefully. Do not use waiting as a religious excuse to ignore prayer or principles. You don't break laws. Laws break you. Waiting is not amnesty. It is strategy. In other words, keep the whole law. Emphasize what this season requires. Let's define our metrics with evidence, not emotion. Proverbs 27:23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Know, not feel. So for each P, you will score based on 3 witnesses: habits, results, and repeatable behaviors. James 2:18 says, show me your faith without works, and I will show you my faith by my works. Show me, not tell me. Evidence over emotion. Write that line in bold. Evidence over emotion. What did I say? Evidence over emotion. Purpose. Do you have a written assignment sentence that a child can repeat? Do your weekly decisions submit to it? Can others predict your yes and your no by it? 0 to 10. Perception. How clear is your lens? Do you seek and record feedback? Do you revisit assumptions? Do you see opportunities others miss because your lens is clean? Score it. Potential. Are you developing your gift daily? Courses, coaching, deliberate practice. Can you quantify skill growth in the last 90 days? Score it. Passion. Where does your energy flow? Check your calendar and bank statement. Do they reveal a zeal for your assignment or for distractions? Score it. Principles. Do you have written non-negotiables that govern your time, speech, money, and relationships? Do you keep them under pressure? Score it. Planning. Is your purpose on your calendar? Do you set milestones and review them weekly? Can I see a 30-day, 1-2-week plan tied to outcomes? Score it. People. Are you surrounded by mentors, peers, and proteges aligned to your assignment? Do you prune toxic ties? Are roles and expectations clear? Score it. Persistence. How many quality reps did you perform this week toward your assignment? Measurable repetitions, not busy work. Do you keep going past boredom? Score it. Perseverance. When you get hit, how fast do you recover? Do you turn setbacks into systems? Documented postmortems and adjustments? Score it. Prayer. Is there a daily scheduled alignment with the manufacturer? Word in your mouth, day and night, listening, not just listening. Do you exit prayer with instructions you obey? Score it. Matthew 7:20 says, by their fruits you shall know them. Fruit is data. Now, procedure. Take a breath, then take a mirror. For each P, ask, what did I do in the last 14 to 30 days that proves this score? Not what you intend, what you did. No decimals, no mercy points. If your flesh wants a 7, and your calendar shows a 4, write 4. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Matthew 5:37. Tie goes to humility, round down. Document at least one piece of evidence next to the number, a habit, a result, a behavior you can repeat. If you cannot name evidence, the score cannot stand. Numbers without proof are lies in suits. Add them up. Total out of 100. Circle the 2 lowest P's. Those are your weakest laws. Tweet this and tag your accountability partner. Raise the floor and the whole house rises. Hashtag weakest first. Because hear me, aiming at your strengths feels good. Attacking your weakest law changes your life. Ecclesiastes 10:10 says, if the iron be blunt and he do not whet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Sharpen the blunt edge. Stop sweating the dull blade. Wisdom says, fix the dullest P first. Some of you will be tempted to negotiate your numbers with your feelings. Resist it. Your feelings are weather. Your laws are climate. Weather changes. Climate governs. This is not about shame. It's about stewardship. If you score a 2 in planning, no demons are needed to sabotage your week. Your calendar did it legally. If you score a 3 in people, your isolation wrote your own famine. But here is the joy. When you obey the law, the result must report for duty. Results are employees of law. Write this phrase at the bottom of your page. My numbers are not opinions, they are instructions. What did I say? Say it out loud. Your total is your terrain. Your 2 lowest are your targets. Those targets become your prescriptions, specific habits in time. We will translate them to calendar blocks, but not yet. Tonight you are diagnosing. And I want you to brace yourself for this next sentence. We will post totals and top 2 gaps at the end. Accountability attracts acceleration. Iron sharpens iron. Woe to the man who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to lift him up. Community will not shame you. It will spot you while you live. But you must step under the bar. Final instruction for this section. Seal it with prayer that leads to practice. Pray, then proof. Ask the Holy Spirit to search you and know you. Psalm 139. Then observe to do Joshua 1-8. Set your heart. Then set your hand. Tomorrow, your audit will not be a memory. It will be a map. Say this as a decree. I measure by laws. I move by evidence. I mature by practice. Again, louder, good. Now, finish your scores. Total them. Circle your 2 gaps. And prepare to aim your effort where the law is weakest. When you do, transformation will stop being mystical and become mathematical, predictable, repeatable, lawful. Now we lift the 3 clarity pillars that multiply everything else. Purpose, perception, potential. Write this down. Clarity multiplies capacity. What did I say? Say it back to me. When your why, your lens, and your gifts align, confusion collapses and your score rises. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Reverse the verse, where there is vision, people gain restraint. In other words, clarity births discipline. Vision puts handcuffs on distraction and a harness on your energy. Tweet that to somebody. Vision is legal restraint. Start with purpose, your why. This is the law. Nothing organizes life like assignment. Ephesians 2:10 declares, we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Prepared beforehand means the plan existed before you did. So ask yourself right now, do I have a written, reviewed assignment statement? Not a poem, not a paragraph from a book you liked your assignment in one sentence that a child can repeat. Score yourself lawfully. 0 means no clarity, you are drifting on trends and emotions. 5 means you have a statement, but it sleeps in a notebook, it rarely decides your day. 10 means your statement drives weekly choices, your calendar, your conversations, your commitments bow to it. What did I say? 10 means your why rules your week. Now diagnose it with 3 questions. This is for purpose, and I want you to write them under your score. Question 1, what problem do I solve? Jesus said, for this cause came I into the world, John 18:37. Do you know your cause? Question 2, who suffers if I do nothing? Purpose is not a hobby, it is a rescue mission. When you name the faces that bleed, when you're lazy, lethargy loses its power. Question 3, what proof did I produce this week? Not intentions, proof. Did your week include a conversation, a document, a deliverable that advanced your assignment? James 2:18. Show me your faith by your works. If there is no weekly evidence, your purpose is still a poster, not a practice. Immediate prescription for purpose. Schedule a 60-minute purpose draft in the next 24 hours. Not later put it on the calendar. In that hour, write your 1-sentence assignment. Test it against Scripture, the needs you see, and your design. Then send that sentence to 3 people you actually serve and ask, is this the problem you experience me solving? What words would make it clearer? Proverbs 20:5 says, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. A man of understanding would draw it out. Draw it out with feedback. Then print it and place it where your eyes can see it when you decide. Fridge, desk, phone, lock screen. What you see, you serve. Second pillar, perception, your lens. Write this down. You cannot outperform your lens. Tweet that and tag your future calendar. Matthew 6:22, the lamp of the body is the eye. If your eye is single, your whole body will be full of light. Your life follows your focus. If your perception is smudged by pressure and trends, your decisions will be dark, even if your intentions are bright. A dirty windshield doesn't change the road. It changes your reaction to it. In other words, the same opportunity looks like a trap to a foggy lens and a doorway to a clear one. So ask, do I interpret reality through my purpose or through pressure, popularity, and panic? When the trend shouts, does your assignment answer or do you follow the noise? Evidence, not emotion. Perception submits to purpose. When you can explain your yes and your no from your assignment sentence. If you have to say, I just felt like it, your lens is in rebellion. Romans 12:2 commands, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. Renewing is a lens wash. Diagnostics, again, the same 3 questions, but through your sight. What problem do I see that I am designed to solve? Who becomes invisible if I allow trends to decide for me? What proof did I produce this week that I filter decisions through purpose? If you cannot show a declined opportunity that didn't fit your purpose, your perception might be under the spell of flattery. Prescription for perception. Request feedback from 3 people you serve. Ask them, when you watch me decide, what do you think is driving me, purpose or pressure? What blind spot am I defending? Then install a 10-minute morning lens check. Read your assignment sentence. Read one passage that aligns your mind. Start with Matthew 6:22-33 and choose one boundary for the day. Law. Boundaries are lenses you live in. Third pillar, potential, what you carry. Write this down. Unused potential is disobedience in disguise. 2 Timothy 1-6. Stir up the gift of God which is in you. Stir, not store. Matthew 25 is a legal document on potential. The master gives talents, returns to settle accounts, and calls the non-investor wicked and lazy. You are not judged by what you were given, but by what you developed. So inventory your gifts and strengths. Spiritual, intellectual, relational, technical. Romans 12:6. Having gifts that differ according to the grace given to us, let us use them. Evidence of cultivation proves belief. If you say you believe in your gift, show me your training hours, your certifications, your reps in the last 90 days. LeBron didn't get MVP by prayer alone. He kept Law's repetition under coaching. Tweet this. Potential without practice is potential on probation. Diagnostics again, the 3 probes. What problem do my gifts solve best? Who suffers when I leave my skill undeveloped? What proof did I produce this week? How many quality reps? What course completed? What feedback integrated? If you cannot name hours, you are worshiping talent and despising law. Ecclesiastes 10:10 already told us, sharpen the iron. Sharpening is hours. Prescription for potential. Build a weekly 2-hour skill development block on your calendar. Non-negotiable, protected, purpose-tied. Not YouTube wandering, structured practice under a plan. Choose one skill that moves your assignment most and stack deliberate reps with feedback. Luke 2:52 says of Jesus, he grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Even the Son submitted to developmental law. Let me land this pillar set with a decree. Say it out loud. Clarity multiplies my capacity. Again, louder. When purpose dictates decisions, perception cleans the lens, and potential is trained under law, confusion loses its license. Your score will rise because laws reward alignment. You don't break the law of clarity. Confusion breaks you. Not in this house. Tonight, draft the why, wash the lens, schedule the reps. When your why, your how you see, and your what you carry move as one, you become dangerous to mediocrity and predictable in results, day and night observed to do, then you shall make your way prosperous. Clarity multiplies capacity. Now discipline must channel that capacity so it becomes motion. Write this down. Passion needs a harness. Principles provide the rails, and planning lays the track. What did I say? Say it back to me. Passion, principles, planning. In other words, discipline is how purpose shows up on your calendar and in your results. Start with passion. Passion is energy. It is not steering. Tweet that to somebody right now. Passion is fuel, not the wheel. Romans 12:11 says, be fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Fervent is fire. But hear me, fire in a fireplace warms the house. Fire on the couch burns it down. If your passion is not contained by principles and scheduled by planning, it becomes a wildfire that consumes your week. Many of you are intoxicated by energy spikes, conference highs, Sunday inspiration, motivational videos, and then you crash into Monday with no steering. Write this down. No calendar equals no commitment. What did I say? If it didn't make your schedule, it didn't make your future. Proverbs 19:2 warns, zeal without knowledge is not good. Passion without plan is a treadmill. Plenty sweat, no distance. So convert your excitement into execution blocks. Take the thunder in your chest and turn it into 60 to 90-minute appointments with your assignment. Name them like contracts, purpose build, practice reps, assignment outreach, client serve, study the law, word and notes. When you label your passion, you legalize it. Don't just feel like writing, calendar writing. Don't just feel like training, calendar training. Before you say yes to another meeting, pre-commit time to rehearsals and reps. Tweet this. Schedule your making before your meetings. If you plan to meet first, you show up empty. If you make first, your meeting will have meat. Now, principles. Principles are your non-negotiables. Laws you vow to keep even when passion is low and pressure is high. Daniel 1-8 says, Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself. Purpose, he set a principle before the test came. Write this down. Principles decide before feelings arrive. What did I say? Decide before you feel. Proverbs 25-28 says, a man without self-control is like a city broken down and without walls. Your principles are your walls. Without them, anything can invade your time, your health, your integrity. I want you to write 5 to 7 laws you will not violate this quarter. Example, sleep as stewardship, no screens after a set hour, rise at a fixed time. Study at least 30 minutes of word and wisdom daily. Joshua 1-8 is not a suggestion, it's a schedule. Stewardship, tithe and budget first, spend second. Honesty, no exaggeration in reports. Ephesians 4:25. Speak truth, each one with his neighbor. Health sweat 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Your body carries your assignment. Relationships, no gossip. Matthew 12:36 says, you will give account for every idle word. Work ethic, deliverables by deadline. Proverbs 12:24. The diligent rule. Write your list, laminate it in your spirit, and engrave this proverb from the kingdom. The longest way to success is the shortcut. Successful people keep principles under pressure. Rule keepers protect tradition. Law keepers protect outcomes. When you face a fork, pressure, or principle, choose principle. Even if it costs you speed today. Speed now, regret later. Slow now, compounding forever. Planning is sequence. Planning answers. What is first? What is next? And what is never? 1 Corinthians 14:40 says, let all things be done decently and in order. Order is the law of predictability. Proverbs 21:5 promises, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, not maybe surely. Write this down. Sequence creates certainty. Planning is not a dream board, it is a week board. Here is your discipline. Anchor your week to your assignment with a 90-minute Sunday planning ritual. Put it in ink. No rituals, no results. In that window, you will do 4 things. 1, review your assignment sentence until the words talk back to you. 2, choose your top. 3, outcomes for the week, outcomes, not tasks. A finished chapter, a delivered proposal, 10 sales calls completed. 3, design your law-based routines. Morning reading and meditation on the Word. Joshua 1-8, day and night. Daily practice reps tied to your gift. And targeted outreach to those you are called to serve. 4, block rehearsal reps before any external meeting. If you stand before Pharaoh without practice, you will stutter opportunities away. Moses rehearsed signs before he faced kings. Exodus 4. Diagnostics time. Is your calendar proof of your purpose? If a stranger scrolled your week, would they be able to guess your assignment with 80% accuracy? If not, you are grading yourself by intention, not by law. Does your day begin with alignment or with alarm clock roulette? Do your scheduled blocks have names? Tweet this. Clarity has a time slot. Daily prescription each morning. Write your top 3 outcomes on a visible card or your lock screen. Then sequence them by energy and importance. Tackle the hardest, highest purpose outcome in your first deep work block. No notifications, no visitors, no multitasking. Jesus rose a great while before day to pray. Mark 1:35. Great outcomes are built in great while blocks. Then batch shallow tasks into 1 or 2 short windows. Every yes to a random ping is a no to your purpose block. Protect the blocks with principles. Phone in another room, door closed, calendar marked busy, accountability partner informed. Say this out loud. My calendar is my covenant. Again, if you break your calendar, you break your covenant with your assignment. For those who say, I plan, but life happens, I hear you. Life does happen. That's why you plan flex lanes. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Build 10% white space daily for interruptions that serve your assignment, not those that seduce it. If a crisis crashes your morning, redeem your top 3 by migrating the block, not deleting it. Migrate it, not murdered. Missed once is human. Missed 3 times is a new principle called neglect. Let me close this pillar with a decree. Say with authority. Discipline channels my passion through principles and plans. So purpose shows up on my calendar and in my results. Again, louder. Now write your 5 to 7 non-negotiables. Schedule your 90-minute Sunday ritual. Pre-commit tomorrow's rehearsal blocks before you answer another invitation. Psalm 90:12 says, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Number your days, and wisdom will number your results. You don't break the law of order. Disorder breaks you, not in this house. From this week forward, your passion will have a harness. Your principles will build walls, and your planning will pave highways straight toward your assignment fulfilled. Now we move from paper to pavement execution. Write this down. Execution runs on 2 engines, people and persistence. What did I say? Say it back to me. People and persistence. The law is simple. Your circle is your ceiling. Proverbs 13:20 declares, he that walks with the wise shall become wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Tweet that to somebody right now. Your circle is your ceiling. Hashtag lawful company. If you want altitude, stop hopping with chickens and start flying with eagles. Jesus himself cleared the room before he raised the girl. He put the markers outside. Mark 5:40. In other words, some miracles require a different audience. You don't need more inspiration. You need fewer interruptions. Remove energy thieves. 1 Corinthians 15:33 warns, bad company corrupts good morals. Bad company also corrupts good calendars. If they drain your focus, they are violating the law of stewardship. You don't break that law. That law breaks your results. Prescription time. 2 mentors, 2 peers, 2 proteges. Write it down. 2, 2, 2. Mentors are those ahead of you in your assignment lane. Peers are those running beside you with similar standards. Proteges are those you are training to solve the same problem. Why proteges? Because you only truly know a law when you can teach it. 2 Timothy 2:2 says, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. Here is how this lives on your calendar. 2 mentors. Schedule 145. Minute call or meeting with each per month. Arrive with questions. Leave with laws. 2 peers. A weekly 30-minute review where you show each other evidence, not excuses, habits, results, repeatable behaviors. 2 proteges. Bi-weekly 1-hour sessions where you transfer methods, assign reps, and measure their progress. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 says, 2 are better than 1. A 3-fold cord is not quickly broken. Imagine a 6-fold cord, 222, braided by law. Tweet that. Mentors give me ceilings. Peers give me mirrors. Proteges give me multiplication. And hear this carefully. Influence is earned by solving visible problems. What did I say? Influence is when other people change their priorities for yours because you solve their problem predictably. Joseph did not trend his way to the palace. He interpreted a problem nobody else could solve and managed a famine with laws. Genesis 41. Daniel didn't network into influence. He solved riddles and governed with excellence until kings changed decrees. Daniel 6. So serve visibly. Solve specifically. This week, write 1 sentence. The problem I am solving publicly is 4. Then prove it with a deliverable that someone can touch. An answered proposal, a fixed process, a training that removes a pain. Matthew 5:16 says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father. See, not guess. Good works, not good wishes. Now, persistence, the rep engine. Write this down. Reps rule results. Emotions do not negotiate with laws. What did I say? Say it. Emotions do not negotiate with laws. Galatians 6:9 promises, do not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. The due season is not random. It is scheduled by repetitions. Establish your rep count law, 90 minutes daily of deliberate practice in your assignment lane, non-negotiable. Call it your mastery block. If you are a writer, 90 minutes of drafting and editing. If you are a builder, 90 minutes of skills and systems. If you are a leader, 90 minutes of designing, deciding, and developing people. 1 Corinthians 9:27, I discipline my body and make it my slave. Your body wants comfort. Your calling wants consistency. Put your reps where your day cannot steal them early. Focus, protect it. Day and night is a schedule, not a slogan. Diagnostics, open your calendar. Who got your prime time this week? Did your mentors, peers, proteges, and those you serve sit in the morning sun? Or did energy thieves eat your breakfast? If the loudest person got your best hours, you broke the law of priority. Track it. Label your top 2 daily blocks and record who received them. Second, count your reps. How many quality, assignment-specific repetitions did you execute in the last 7 days? Not busy work reps that move the scoreboard. If you cannot show a number, you cannot show a harvest. Joshua 1-8 says, observe to do. Observe means measure. Here is a prescription you will apply by sundown. 1. Send 6 messages. 2. To mentors with proposed monthly slots and questions attached. 2. To peers, scheduling a weekly evidence exchange. 2. To potential proteges, inviting them into a bi-weekly training with clear outcomes. 2. Institute a visible street tracker for your daily 90-minute mastery block. Put a simple grid on your wall or in your planner and mark an X for every day you keep the law. Don't break the chain. Miss once if you must, never twice. Twice is a principle called decline. The diligent rule, says Proverbs 12:24. Streaks make diligence visible. 3. Assign your prime time tomorrow to the person or problem that most advances your assignment. Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom and his righteousness. First is order, not emotion. Let's seal this with a decree. Say it out loud. With the right people and relentless reps, my execution compounds and separates me from the pack. Again, louder. Your circle will lift your ceiling. Your reps will raise your floor. And between ceiling and floor, your future will become predictable. You don't break the law of environment. Isolation breaks you. You don't break the law of persistence. Quitting breaks you. Not in this house. From this week forward, choose your company by your calling, count your reps by your calendar, and watch influence come looking for you because you solve problems on schedule. Now let's talk about staying power, the sustaining pillars, perseverance and prayer. Write this down. Endurance plus alignment keeps you lawful under pressure, so you finish your assignment, not just start it. What did I say? Say it out loud. Tweet that to somebody right now. Finishers are not lucky. They are lawful under load. Perseverance first, storm, stamina. Here is the law. Resistance reveals readiness. In other words, the headwind is not your enemy, it is your x-ray. James 1:2-4 says, count it all joy when you fall into various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. Let patience have its perfect work, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking nothing. Trials are tools. Write this down. Expect headwinds. Pre-decide your response. If you don't pre-decide, pressure will decide for you. Hebrews 12:1 commands us to run with perseverance the race set before us. Set means assigned. So your storm is visiting your lane to see if you belong there. Tweet this. Storms don't stop assignments. They certify them. Picture a ship in a squall. The captain lowers the sail to reduce drag, but he does not change the destination. He trims, he anchors briefly if he must, but he keeps bearing true. That's perseverance. Lower the sail, reduce speed, never surrender direction. 2 Corinthians 4:8-9 describes it. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed, struck down, but not destroyed. Write this down. Adjust methods, not mission. What did I say? Say it back to me. Now prayer, the alignment engine. Hear me carefully. Prayer does not replace laws. It realigns you to obey them. Prosperity doesn't come by prayer. It comes by keeping laws. But prayer gives you discernment, courage, and restraint to keep those laws when the storm screams. Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. Prayer lowers panic and raises precision. Like that ship, prayer lowers the flapping sail of your emotions and sharpens the compass in your spirit. Philippians 4:6-7 promises that when you pray with thanksgiving, the peace of God will guard your heart and mind. God is the military word. Peace becomes a soldier at your gate so you don't make illegal decisions under fear. Diagnostics time. What prescripted responses guide you in setback? When a client cancels, when a friend betrays, when a body symptom scares you, what law-based sentence comes out of your mouth? If you have no script, you'll write one in the dark. What daily rhythm anchors your inner life? Can you name the time, place, and pattern of your prayer and word intake? If you can't name it, it doesn't exist. 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, pray without ceasing. That means rhythm, not random. Prescription, put this on your calendar tonight. 1, a weekly solitude hour. Call it wait and weigh. Isaiah 40:31 says, they that wait on the Lord shall renew strength. In that hour, silence the devices. Read a passage that aligns you with law. Start with Psalm 119 or Matthew 5:7. Review your assignment sentence. Journal 3 decisions you must make. And ask, what does the law require? 2, a written crisis protocol. 1 page, visible. Example, 2 4-hour rule. No major decisions under adrenaline. Call 1 mentor and 1 peer. Reduce sale by pausing non-essential projects. Keep core laws. Word, rest, tithe, reps. Speak your anchor verse out loud. Psalm 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Acts 27 shows Paul in a storm. They threw cargo overboard but kept purpose aboard. Do the same. 3, build a gratitude and confession loop to keep your heart clean and your courage high. Each night list 3 gratitudes, specific, not vague. Psalm 103:2, forget not all his benefits. Then confess any breach, fear, pride, exaggeration. 1 John 1-9, promises cleansing. Clean hearts hear clearly. Guilty hearts guess. Let's seal it. Say this with authority. Resistance reveals my readiness, and prayer realigns my obedience. Again, louder. You don't break the law of endurance. Quitting breaks you. You don't break the law of alignment. Prayerlessness breaks you. Not in this house. From this week forward, when the wind rises, you will lower panic and raise precision. Follow your crisis protocol. Keep your solitude hour and finish your assignment on schedule. Now take out your audit. We are moving from inspiration to investigation. Write this down. You cannot fix what you won't face. Add your 10 scores. Get your total out of 100. Now circle the 2 lowest P's. Not the ones you like. Not the ones that make you look good on Instagram. The lowest. What did I say? Circle the lowest. Because your life, like a chain, is only as strong as its weakest link. You don't break the law of the chain. The weak link breaks your progress. Proverbs 27:23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. That means measurement. Luke 14:28 asks, which of you, intending to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost? Counting is holy. Tweet this and write it in bold. If it isn't measured, it isn't managed. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't serious. Say it out loud with me. Again, Joshua 1-8 says, observe to do. Observe means measure. Do means schedule. You've got to put numbers on your now so you can put laws on your calendar. Here is the wisdom of the 80/20. Law, fixing the bottom, 20% lifts the whole system fastest. Don't polish strengths while foundations crack. You've been decorating the living room while the basement floods. Stop that. Ecclesiastes 10:10 warns, if the axe is dull and its edge unsharpened, more strength is needed, but skill brings success. Skill lives where your edge is dull at the bottom, not the top. Let me model this. Suppose your total is 62/100. Your lowest P's are planning at 4 and perception at 5. You feel tempted to spend another week on passion because you love fire. No. What will you attack first? My lowest law. Say it back to me. Louder. Attack planning first. Why? Because sequence creates certainty. And your current chaos is a planning problem masquerading as a passion issue. In other words, fix the order and your energy will find rails. Then go to perception. Because if your lens is dirty, your decisions will be crooked, even with a plan. Laws make life predictable. Law violations make pain automatic. Map diagnostic to prescription. Simple, honest, immediate. Each low P gets 1 to 3 habits you will install this week. Purpose low. Install a 1-sentence assignment statement by tonight. A 5-minute morning recitation of that sentence. A Sunday 1 0-minute purpose review before the week planning. Perception low. Install a 7-day media diet, cutting 50% of noise. A weekly peer mirror. Send 1 deliverable to a wise peer for feedback. A daily 3-minute midday reframe and realign where you ask what law applies here. Potential low. Install 1 90-minute mastery block daily on your core gift. Enroll in 1 micro course or find 1 mentor to sharpen your edge. Keep a reps log you can show. Passion low. Install. Name 2 deep work blocks this week with titles tied to your assignment. Attach a pre-work ritual, 5 minutes of scripture. Stretch and start. Lock bedtime and wake time to protect energy. Principles low. Install. Write your 5 to 7 non-negotiables tonight. Place them where your eyes must see them. Conduct a nightly 2-minute principle. Check that I keep my walls. Planning low. Install the 90-minute Sunday planning ritual. Daily, top 3 outcomes on a visible card. Block rehearsal before meetings. People low. Install. Send the 6 messages for your 222. Remove 1 energy thief from your prime time by boundary or by goodbye. Schedule 1 mentor call this month. Persistence low. Install a visible streak tracker for your 90-minute mastery block. A floor standard when life hits. Execute a 20-minute mini rep so the chain never breaks. A weekly reps count review with a peer. Perseverance low. Install your 1-page crisis protocol before Friday. A weekly storm debrief. What hit? How I trimmed, what law I kept. Pick an anchor verse you will speak when resistance rises. Try Psalm 27:1. Prayer low. Install 20 minutes every morning, word and watch, the wait and weigh, solitude hour. An hourly 30, second breath prayer. Lord, align me to your law. James 1:22 says, be doers of the word, not hearers only. Habits make you a doer. Now take those habits and do the only thing that proves seriousness. Schedule them. I repeat, if it isn't scheduled, it isn't serious. Open your calendar. Where does the Sunday planning ritual live? Where is the mastery block? Where is the solitude hour? Where is the 222? Where are your top 3 each day? Don't trust memory, trust appointments. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets that he may run. That reads it. Plain means time, place, duration. Run means you can move because it's clear. Diagnostics must repeat or they die. Establish a weekly scorecard Sunday. Every Sunday after your planning, rescore your 10 P's quickly, 2 minutes each, gut honest. Track your 2 lowest for 4 weeks. Your goal is not perfection, it is uplift. If the score doesn't rise, your habit is either too big, too vague, or not yet on your calendar. Simplify it. Shrink it until it fits daily. Tweet this. Small, lawful habits beat giant, lawless intentions. Proverbs 24:3 says, by wisdom a house is built, by understanding it is established, and by knowledge the rooms are filled. Wisdom picks the right law. Understanding schedules it. Knowledge measures it. Accountability makes prediction public. Share your 2 lowest P's and the 3 habits with your peers. This week, your evidence circle. Show them your calendar screenshot. Not excuses, evidence. Next week, report your streaks, not your feelings. If you failed, show where it lives on the calendar and why you missed, then migrate it. Don't murder it. Remember, missed once is human. Missed twice becomes a principle called neglect. Hebrews 10:24 says, let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works. Good works are scheduled obediences. Let's seal this strategy with a decree. Say it with me. I will aim at my weakest laws first and raise my whole life score predictably. Again, what will I attack first? My lowest law. Louder. You don't break the law of measurement. Vagueness breaks you. You don't break the law of scheduling. Drift breaks you. Not in this house. From this week forward, you will score it. Circle the bottom 2. Install the right habits and put them on the clock until your chain holds, your score climbs, and your assignment advances on schedule. Now we put the laws on the clock. Write this down. When laws live on your calendar, transformation stops being mystical and becomes mathematical. Say it out loud. Again. Tweet that to somebody right now, hashtag lawful living. This is your 30-day purpose protocol. Not a theory, a timetable. Not vibes, verifiable steps. Proverbs 21:5 says, the plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance. Surely means predictable. So we will take 4 sprints, 7 days each, and a daily cadence that makes obedience routine. Week 1 is your clarity sprint. Day 1, draft or refine your 1-sentence assignment. Jeremiah 29:11 confirms God already has plans. Your job is to describe your lane. Answer 3 questions and compress them to 1 sentence. What problem do I solve? For whom? By what gift? Speak it until it sounds like you. Post it where your eyes must obey. Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision, make it plain. Day 2 and 3, audit, perception your lens. Ask 5 wise people for 3 words that describe your present reputation and 3 words for what they believe is your unique gift. Do not defend, just receive. Reduce noise, cut your media diet in half for the week. Clarity hates clutter. Day 4 and 5, inventory, potential. List your top 5 skills, top 5 results you've actually produced, and the environments where your gift caught fire. 2 Timothy 1:6 says, stir up the gift. Stirring is active. Inventory is stirring on paper. Day 6 and 7, convert potential into practice. Schedule 2 hours per day of skill development, your mastery double. You can do 60 minutes early morning and 60 minutes late afternoon, or 1 90-minute block and a 30-minute finisher. Name those blocks by the result they produce. Draft chapter, design module, practice presentation. Joshua 1-8 says day and night. This is a schedule, not a slogan. By the end of week 1, you must have a sentence you can say, a lens you have cleaned, and a gift you have trained. Measure it. Each evening score. Purpose, perception, potential, and passion quickly, plus or minus from yesterday. Observe to do. Week 2 is your discipline sprint. Write your principles 5 to 7 non-negotiable laws that will protect your assignment when passion is low and pressure is high. Daniel 1-8, he purposed in his heart. Purpose before pressure. Examples? Word daily, Joshua 1-8. Sleep of stewardship. Honesty in reports. Sweat 5 days a week. Deliverables before dopamine. Next, implement the 90-minute Sunday planning ritual. Fix the time. Fix the place. Fix the sequence. Review your assignment. Choose your top 3 outcomes for the week. Block your mastery, double, and outreach. Stage your tools. Then plug passion into scheduled work blocks. Fire belongs in a fireplace. Label 2 deep work appointments per day. Guard them like a contract. And let every other request find a place around them, not over them. Proverbs 19:2 warns that zeal without knowledge is not good. Zeal with a calendar is law. Each evening this week, check boxes only. Did I keep my principles? Did I complete my 2 deep work blocks? If you missed, migrate it. Don't murder it. Missed once is human, twice becomes a principle called neglect. Week 3 is your execution sprint. Curate people, your 2-2-2. 2 mentors, 2 peers, 2 proteges. Send the 6 messages with proposed times and clear agendas. Put the meetings on the calendar now, not someday. Remove 1 energy thief from your prime hours by boundary or by goodbye. 1 Corinthians 15:33, bad company corrupts good morals. It also corrupts good calendars. Then set your daily persistence. Streak your 90-minute mastery block must not be broken. Build a visible streak tracker and mark an X every day. Don't break the chain. Galatians 6-9, do not grow weary. Due season is the child of repetitions. Finally, publish 1 solved problem artifact each day. Hear me, visibility verifies value. Matthew 5:16, let your light so shine that they may see your good works. Post a case study, a how-to thread, a one-page checklist, a demo, a client testimonial, a before and after. If you serve someone today, produce the evidence in a form another person can touch or read. Influence chases problem solvers. Week 4 is your sustain sprint. Install your perseverance protocol, one page, print it and post it. It includes a 2-4-hour rule, no major decisions under adrenaline, a call list, one mentor, one peer, a trimming list, what to pause under pressure, your non-negotiable laws, word, rest, tithe, reps, and an anchor verse you will speak when storms rise. Psalm 27:1 is good. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Adjust methods, not mission. Then deepen your prayer and meditation rhythm alignment, not avoidance. Morning, rehearse your laws and your assignment sentence. Read one passage. Start with Matthew 5:7 or Psalm 119 and sit 5 minutes to listen. Mark 1:35, Jesus rose early. Evening, review your day with God gratitude for 3 benefits. Psalm 103:2. Confession for any breach, 1 John 1-9. And a quick rescore of your 10 P's with a plus. Prayer doesn't replace laws. It realigns you to keep them when your feelings revolt. Now, your daily cadence for all 30 days is simple enough to remember and strong enough to change you. Write this down. Read a law. Do a rep. Serve a person. Log your score delta. What did I say? Say it back to me. Each morning, read one law from your 10 P's and declare the action you will take. Then do at least one deep rep in your mastery block before you check anybody's feed. Serve a person intentionally, mentor, client, family, stranger, solve a problem, not just send a thought. Then, before bed, log your score delta. Which P rose, which slipped, and why? Joshua 1-8, observe to do. Observe is measure. Do is schedule. Saturdays, run a 30-minute mini audit. Sit down with your streak tracker and your plus-minus log. Circle the 2 lowest P's for the week. Identify the one habit that failed and shrink it until it fits daily. Wisdom shrinks habits to make obedience probable. Sundays, execute your scorecard Sunday and reset the plan assignment review, top 3 outcomes, block the mastery double, schedule 222 touch points, stage your tools, prep your environment. Psalm 90:12, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Numbering is calendaring. Say this with me. I make laws live on my calendar. Again, louder. You don't break the law of time, waste breaks you. You don't break the law of order, disorder breaks you. Not in this house. In 30 days, with 4 sprints and a daily cadence, you will have a sentence you can say, a schedule you can show, a streak you can count, a circle you can trust, and a storm plan you can follow. Transformation will stop being mystical and become mathematical because you obeyed laws on time every time until your assignment moved from intention to evidence. Now we turn on the community engine. Write this down. Accountability accelerates obedience. What did I say? Say it back to me. Tweet that to somebody right now. Hashtag lawful living. Hebrews 10:24-25 says, let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, encouraging one another. Stir up means apply pressure with love. Encouragement is not flattery. It is fuel for obedience. Proverbs 27:17 declares, iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. You don't break the law of fellowship. Isolation breaks you. Community pressure and support make consistent obedience to laws normal and progress inevitable. Here is your engagement assignment. Within 24 hours, post 3 things. Your total purpose audit score out of 100. Your 2 lowest P's. And 1 concrete habit you will install this week to raise the lowest. Say it back to me. Score. Lowest 2. 1 habit. Post it where your circle can see it. Your peer thread. Your team channel. Your mastermind forum. If you have none, put it on your wall where your family walks by. Visibility creates velocity. Tag your 2 peers from your 222 and give them permission to ask for evidence by Friday. This is not vanity. This is verification. James 5:16 says, confess your faults one to another and pray for one another that you may be healed. Confession is measurement out loud. Healing is predictability restored. Now let me correct the virus. We are not competing, we are corroborating. Write that down. Say it out loud with me. We don't compete, we corroborate. Celebrate progress, not positions. 2 Corinthians 10:12 warns, they who compare themselves among themselves are not wise. In other words, your neighbor's lane is not your law. We verify each other's growth against assignment, not against applause. If you went from 48 to 56 because you scheduled laws on your calendar and kept your reps, we stand and clap like you won the Super Bowl because you did in your lane. Romans 12:15, rejoice with those who rejoice. Rejoicing is a law that multiplies momentum. Guidelines for this public rhythm. Write these down. 1. Evidence-based updates only. Screenshots of your calendar blocks, your streak tracker with X's, your deliverable before and after, your solved problem artifact. Don't post feelings, post fruit. Matthew 7:20 says, by their fruits you shall know them. 2. Encourage at least 2 others every time you post. Leave specific, law-based comments. I see your 6-day mastery block streak. What pre-work ritual kept you consistent? Or that calendar screenshot shows your top 3 at 7 a.m. Excellent order. Specificity is the currency of courage. 3. Ask one precise question about your lowest P. Not any tips, but what one boundary kept your Sunday planning rituals sacred. Proverbs 20:5 says, counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. A man of understanding will draw it out. Precise questions drop the bucket. Now the rhythm, day 1, day 7, day 30. Day 1, post your total, your 2 lowest P's, and 1 habit you are installing this week. Attach 1 screenshot that proves it's already on your calendar. Day 7, check in. Share your reps, count your current streak length, 1 solved problem artifact, and 1 lesson learned. Galatians 6:2, bear one another's burdens. That means share the load and the solution. Day 30, re-audit and share your delta, before, after, totals, each P's movement, and the single habit that lifted the most weight. Add 2 insights you will carry into the next month, and 1 habit you will retire. Luke 16:10, he who is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. Public faithfulness in small laws invites larger assignments. Hear a loving rebuke. Secrecy breeds fantasy. Sunlight breeds sobriety. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Jesus said in Matthew 5:14, if you hide your score, your pride is your coach. Fire your pride, hire your peers. In other words, let light kill your excuses. And please remember our law. If it isn't measured, it isn't managed. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't serious. If it isn't shared, it isn't accountable. Post. Compare by assignment. Improve by law. What did I say? Say it out loud. Let's seal it with a decree. Say this with authority. Accountability accelerates my obedience, corroborates my progress, and makes my results predictable. Again, louder. You don't break the law of community. Secrecy breaks you. Not in this house. From today, you will post your score, circle your lowest, install 1 habit publicly, encourage 2 others with evidence-based words, ask 1 precise question, and return on day 7 and day 30 with fruit in your hand. And as you do, you will watch the power of lawful community turn your private intention into public transformation on schedule, by design, for the sake of your assignment and the glory of God. Now hear my final charge. Write this down. Success is lawful, measurable, and purpose defined, not applause defined. What did I say? Say it back to me. You are not graded by noise, likes, or the latest trend. You are graded by assignment fulfilled. Jeremiah 29:11 is still true. I know the plans I have for you. Your maker already set the lane. Your job is to walk it by law, on time, until the work is done. Here's our creed in 1 sentence. Grade by purpose, live by laws, and your life will predictably fulfill the assignment you were born to complete. Say it out loud. Again, tweet that to somebody right now. And here is the charge that separates children from champions. Break rules that block laws. Never break laws to keep rules. Say it with me. If a company, tradition, breaks the law of focused mastery. Break the tradition. If a friend group demands you break the law of truth to keep their approval, keep the law and lose the approval. Jesus said in Matthew 15, why do you break the command of God for the sake of your tradition? Successful people break rules for the sake of the law. You don't break laws, laws break you. Seal it with a vow. Say this with authority. I will grade by purpose, obey the laws, and close my gap with daily practice. Again, louder. Joshua 1-8 says, observe to do, then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. Reverse the verse. If I refuse to observe and refuse to do, I will not prosper. That is predictability. Galatians 6-7 adds, God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that he will also reap. Sow lawful habits in time. Reap lawful results on schedule. Psalm 1-3 declares the planted man prospers in whatever he does. Planted means positioned under law. Now, next steps before you move a muscle. 1, save your worksheet. Put it in 3 places. Print it in your workspace, pin to your device home screen, and store it in a cloud folder named Assignment Evidence. 2, schedule your 3-0 day, purpose, protocol, right now. Block the mastery, double the Sunday planning ritual, the 2-2-2 touch points, the wait and weigh, solitude hour. If it isn't scheduled, it isn't serious. 3, invite 2 allies. Send a message before midnight. Here is my score, my 2 lowest P's, and the habit I'm installing. Ask me for evidence every Friday. Ecclesiastes 4-9. 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. 4, set your monthly re-audit. First Sunday of every month, 15 minutes. Rescore the 10 P's. Compare deltas. Choose the next weakest law and install 1 habit. Habakkuk 2-2. Write it plain so you can run. As you obey these laws, expect predictable fruit. Expect clarity. The fog will lift because law creates light. The entrance of your words gives light. Psalm 119-130. Expect influence. Solve problems in public. Produce trust. Let your light so shine that they may see your good works. Matthew 5:16. Expect completion. Like Paul, you will be able to say, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. 2 Timothy 4-7. Like Jesus in John 17-4, I have finished the work you gave me to do. That is success. Work assigned, work completed, on schedule, by law. Lift your hands and receive this commissioning. In the name of Jesus, I declare over you ordered steps, guarded focus, and lawful habits that make your results inevitable. Psalm 37-23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. May your calendar align with his order. May your weakest link be strengthened first. May your community surround you with sharpening grace. May your daily reps become a river that carves canyons of influence. You will not chase success. You will attract it by keeping laws. You will not be ruled by comparison. You will be ruled by assignment. You will not bow to shortcuts. You will submit to sequence. The longest way to success is the shortcut. You will take the straight road of obedience. Now go. Post your score. Schedule your week. Invite your 2 allies. Set your monthly re-audit. Walk your assignment by law with joy under grace. And we will meet again with evidence in your hand, fruit on your schedule, and the testimony that success is not a mystery. It is the math of obedience to the laws of God. What did I say? Grade by purpose, live by laws, and finish your assignment. Amen.